Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this 5th anniversary showcase for the Confucius Institute at Coventry University. I would like to start by saying, obviously, this is not exactly how we would love to do and to celebrate our 5th anniversary. Unfortunately, we are on Zoom rather than in person, able to work with people, to help people learn and actively engage in conversation, in learning these skills. This is something that we look forward to being able to do again. So the purpose of today is really to review, to go back and see who we are as the Confucius Institute, what we do, what we have done, and to showcase a little bit of what we have done and our students. So let's start with a short musical performance from a couple of our students. So that was a performance from two of our students who are very, very talented on the erhu and the zither, two very traditional Chinese, Chinese piece of things. My dear, oh dear. So a little bit about today's event for everyone who is joining us. Yes, I've mentioned we'll be looking at the Confucius Institute at Coventry University, what we aim to do in the future, and we'll be sharing some of our experiences. And as we go through and discuss, we will be sharing more performances, and we will also at some point be challenging our audience's general knowledge of some Chinese culture. So please feel free to jump in when we have some questions. Some of these questions may also be challenging for our staff members, and I look forward to seeing how well they are aware of some of the history of the Confucius Institute. But I'd like to start today, first of all, by inviting Liu Youfa, the co-director for the Confucius Institute at Coventry University, to explain a little bit about the background of the Confucius Institute and who we are. So, Nick.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nick. I'm the Chinese co-director of Confucius Institute at Coventry University. I come from Jiangxi University of Finance Economics of China. I am also the professor of English at the university. The Jiangxi University of Finance Economics, which is referred to as JUFI, was founded in 1923. Is located in Nanchang, the capital city of Jiangxi province, which is 1 hour flight from Shanghai and Guangzhou. It is a well-known university in China and ranking 7th among all the universities of finance economics in China. So JUFI has 16 teaching schools with 20,700 undergraduates, 5,200 postgraduates, and 400 doctoral students. JUFI has keeping good cooperation with Coventry University in student mobility programs, such as 2+2 program, a double bachelor's program, 1+1+1 double master's program, excellent undergraduate exchange program, joint doctoral program, and student summer camp, etc. In order to enhance the mutual understanding of the people of the two countries, to develop friendly relations between China and the UK, to promote the exchange integration of Chinese and the British cultures, to build a harmonious world of lasting peace and common prosperity, Confucius Institute was established in Coventry in 2015 as the non-profit public welfare organization, whose purpose was to provide convenient and excellent learning conditions for Chinese learners. It adheres to Confucius' philosophy of harmony is precious and harmony without difference. So our mission here is to offer Mandarin Chinese teaching to help people to get to know more about China and to help establish links with China. So over the past 5 years, the CICU has offered more than 150 courses, including Chinese language courses, business Chinese, Tai Chi, martial arts, Chinese painting, calligraphy, Chinese art, Chinese dance, and so on and so forth, which fully meet the multi-level learning needs of Coventry University students and teachers for Chinese and Chinese culture. Until now, that means so far, more than 1,000 students registered in the courses. Besides, the students at Confucius Institute have made outstanding and remarkable achievements in the Chinese Bridge World College Students Chinese Competition for 3 years. And also over the past 5 years, the Confucius Institute at Coventry University has developed more than 150 activities focusing on modern China, including cultural, academic lectures, workshops, famous calligraphy and painting exhibitions, and the cultural experience days for primary and secondary schools. The total number of participants is more than 1,000, and the audience is more than 10,000, which has received very good feedbacks and responses and has been highly valued by participants. The Belt and Road Observatory at CI and the series of lectures on perspective on China and the Chinese Corner and the Chinese Experience Day have become the beautiful name cards of Confucius Institute. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank our students and our teachers at CI and all the participants of the cultural activities, and also to thank the support from Coventry University and Jiangxi University of Finance Economics. And also I would like to look forward to more participants of courses and activities. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for that. Excuse me. Let me join myself. So we'd like to follow this up with a short video produced by our friends at Jufi, which gives a little bit of an overview of the past 5 years of Coventry University. So please enjoy.
The Confucius Institute inherits the ideology of harmony is precious and harmony in diversity in the process of exchanges and mutual learning between people of all countries, enhancing friendship, promoting the diversity of world civilizations. From China to the UK, from Jiangxi University of Finance and Economics to Coventry University, thanks to the great support of Chinese and British friends and the dedication of all the staffs. The Confucius Institute at Coventry University has been achieved today. As the first Confucius Institute jointly established by Jiangxi University in Europe, we have grown from 0 to 1, persisting, persevering, with fearless courage and unbreakable faith to meet various challenges. Looking back on every moment that we have experienced together over the past 5 years, all of them are precious. We grew up with the CICU. Since the establishment of CICU, the scale of teaching has continued to expand. The faculty and institute running strengths are continuously enhanced. Students could really touch the breadth and the depth of Chinese culture through the variety of curriculum, including Mandarin and Chinese traditional cultural courses, catching the charm of Chinese language, feeling the cultural influence brought by traditional Chinese craftsmanship such as calligraphy and paper cutting, learning the beauty of regenerative culture through practice Taiji in CICU, or the imagination of Chinese culture could be satisfied. The students of CICU also have a bright performance in the Chinese competition of Chinese Great World College students. Culture is a bridge connecting the people of China and Britain. In CICU, more than 160 events have been held successively, with an audience of more than 10,000 people. We already developed some well-known cultural project brands, Perspectives on China series lectures, Chinese Corner, Chinese Cultural Experience Day. These activities have well been received by local teachers, students, and residents. In early 2020, during the COVID-19 epidemic, the CICU faculties have sent their concern to China online.
So my name is David Pillsbury. I'm the Deputy Vice-Chancellor International at Coventry University, as well as the Director of the Confucius Institute here. And I would like to just say a few words on behalf of my colleagues at the Confucius Institute that we are absolutely standing with you in China. I am so pleased that the Confucius Institute has rallied to the cause and that we are doing a number of things to support our students here and to engage with our partners in China.
万众一心，共克时艰。我们英国考文垂大学孔子学院虽然与祖国远隔千山万水，但每一位教师的心都与祖国人民紧紧连在一起。
Hello, I'm Claire Jones from Hersal Community Academy. All the children and staff at Hersal are thinking about everybody in China at the moment and sending our very best wishes.
中国加油！
众志成城，万众一心。考文垂大学孔子学院与祖国在一起，中国加油！
我们为自己而骄傲，未来总有一天会见证到中国梦的闪耀。
These familiar faces accompany every step of the growth of CICU. In the future, we'll continue to promote the Sino-British cultural exchange and friendship. We believe our story will continue.
Thank you very much to our friends at Jufi for creating and learning this one. I would like to, excuse me, I do believe I have lost my place. Anyway, thank you very much. I would like to move and look at some of the key areas that we look at through the Confucius Institute. And I'm going to be inviting each of our members of staff to say a little bit about the areas in which they take a lot of responsibility. I think it is, and at the top, I'd like to say we're very fortunate to have a fantastic team that does take a lot of ownership about the different areas of the Institute. And they are very passionate and very caring about their work. So we'll start with Wenjuan, who is going to give a little bit of a background for the teaching and learning that we do here. So welcome, Wenjuan. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Wenjuan. So I am mainly responsible for the teaching management of our CI because language is the key to understand the culture. So we offer Mandarin classes for all levels for you. We help students master various language skills in listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and also prepare for the official Chinese language test, HSK. Learning Mandarin with our professional native speaker tutors and understand the traditional and modern Chinese culture, and more importantly, have fun with us. Now our summer semester will be start from next week, so you can find more information by scanning the QR code and also from our website. Thank you. 谢谢.
Thank you, Wenjuan. So before we get into the brief video that we have for this one, Wenjuan, I would like to ask you a brief question. So as you are looking at the teaching and learning, what would you say is the most important thing about teaching Mandarin to the people in the local area?
You mean most important thing for teaching?
Yes.
From teacher side or student side?
From the teacher side. Why do we want to teach? And what's the feeling of teaching?
Oh, it's really hard to say. So honestly, it's really happy because not only for teaching and student relationship, but also we like build friendship with lots of people. So that is the key reason we want to stay here, to help people to learn more about Chinese language and culture.
Excellent. And what sort of teaching methods do we use here, and how has that changed and adapted for the online teaching that we have to do now?
Well, the teaching methods we use a lot. So we do lots of practice, lots of events, and also like sometimes we have games, conversations with students. And now we are doing online courses we use by team, but we also keep the good quality for interaction with all of the students.
Thank you. I think that's as I've said, I personally have taken the classes, and I think that as you say, the interaction between the teachers and the students and the opportunity in the small classes to actively practice and learn has been fantastic. So I am very proud of the work that everyone does and the classes that are successful. And to follow up next, we have a short video from some of our students who are alumni and also current students to share their views. So let's go on to this one.
哇，已经5年了。考文垂大学孔子学院的勤奋和毅力已经5年。今天，我想代表你们所教导和传授的所有学生，向你们表示感谢。我们优秀的老师们，还有我们可靠的院长，你们都辛苦了。在你们的帮助下，我的汉语水平得到了极大的提高，再次感谢。祝愿考文垂大学孔子学院越来越好。
Coventry 大学孔子学院5周年快乐！
大家好，我是 HSK 第3级的文明。考文垂大学孔子学院5周年快乐！
Hello everyone, my name is Sada Awin. I'm currently studying HSK Level 2 at Confucius Institute. During the classes, I will ask questions, and Teacher Liang, who has been my Chinese tutor for the last 2 semesters, he's been very patient with me in answering all the questions, even during and after the classes. Because it's very small class sizes, and also because it's online, I was able to learn Chinese at the comfort of my own home. And I can only say that I have got great experiences, and I will continue learning Chinese at the Institute. Thank you. Bye.
你好，我叫魏静。Hello, my name is Violetta, and I was studying Chinese the last 2 semesters. I'm so glad I've learned so much with those wonderful teachers and wonderful classmates. I like so much to learn Mandarin through the online course that I had since October. It is nice experience, and I totally recommend this. 再见。
大家好，我叫劳伦，我是孔岩高级汉语班的学生，也是伯明翰城市大学的博士后。我已经在孔岩学习2年了。我的老师杜老师的汉语课很有趣活泼，我们在历史和文化等方面的探讨给了我很多启发。我还因为孔岩参与了不少活动，例如汉语教英国大赛，我获得了3等奖的好成绩，这多亏了任老师的帮助。在19年，我去江西财经大学参加全国的夏令营， 这是我非常难忘的经历。最近，我还给公园的学生和朋友们分享了我的研究，关于上海社会主义文化实验的讲座。我很感谢公园的园长和各位老师们的辛勤耕耘。我很希望我们公园能够继续承担着中英文化桥梁的作用。祝考文垂大学孔子学院5周年生日快乐！
It is fantastic that I think we have such great students and some wonderful teachers who are providing some excellent experiences from them. And I think all of our teachers can be proud of the relationships they've built and the impact that they have had on our students over the past 5 years. So I would like to take a moment now to take a quick break and ask the first of our trivia questions for today. Now, this will be open. These questions are open to the staff and to all of our people. And I'd like to invite everyone to put your answers into the chat if you think them. They are quite simple questions. Obviously, it's testing some knowledge. So the first question, obviously, today is the 5th anniversary of the Confucius Institute at Coventry University. So our program has been going for 5 years, but when did the Confucius Institute program as a whole begin? Does anyone know which year? I know that Liu Yofa, Nick, we mentioned this earlier, so I think perhaps you might be able to step out of this one. It's a math question, not a math question. You mean there's no maths, this is trivia. Oh, Nick, you know this one. So, if there is anybody who would like from our audience who would like to take a guess, how old do we think the Confucius Institute would be? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? Who could say? I know our panelists have said a couple of suggestions, but the first answer, I think, as Liu Fa, you have put into the group 17. Ali suggests 17 years. We're not 17 years. Is it 17 years? Where's my math? It's actually nearly 17 years. I think that's most correct. The Confucius Institute began. Nick, what year did the Confucius Institute begin? Would you like to tell us?
You mean our Confucius Institute?
No. The Confucius Institute program from the created by Han Ban.
2004. The first one is 2004.
Fantastic. It is in fact 2004 was the first year that the Confucius Institute program launched a place. So the second question that I have today, so is where was the first Confucius Institute created? Now, Nick, if you could hold off from putting your answer into the comments, that would be great. Because we did mention, I talked to you about this one earlier, but if anyone else has some idea, where was the first Confucius Institute created? It was not in the UK. I will give you that one as a basic thing. Interesting.
Yeah.
we have an answer there. Korea is so Wenchuan, yes, and you mean South Korea, just to be more specific. There could be this is one potentially correct answer. However, the South Korea was the first official Confucius Institute, although it was not the first one. Ali says Seoul, Seoul in South Korea. There was a Confucius Institute pilot scheme created in Uzbekistan before the one in South Korea. So that was a pilot program to test it. So Seoul in South Korea would be the official correct answer, although you would also accept Uzbekistan, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the town in Uzbekistan it was created in, unfortunately. Yeah. So the third question for us is, how many Confucius Institutes are currently in the UK? Or you mean I wouldn't say you got it wrong with Seoul in South Korea. That's correct. However, a pilot scheme will not count as the first official one. A pilot scheme is a test scheme. How many? You've got 36, got 30. Ali says 31. I'm going to hold this back again because I know that Nick is the one who is in touch with all of them as through the Chinese directors. Nick, how many Confucius Institutes are currently in the UK?
30.
30. So Wenzhuan, you were correct. Yiming, you were a couple more answers, Yiming, if you would have got there. Ali, you were very close. I think there is
probably
some flux lately with some of them. There are 30 Confucius Institutes in the UK, and I think we are one of the youngest.
Yeah.
I believe that we are one of the youngest. So thank you for joining in. This is the first part of the very basic Confucius Institute trivia for today. The next thing the next area that we were going to be looking at is how work with schools. And I would like to invite Liang Feng, one of our qualified Mandarin tutors, to explain this and introduce this area to us.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm the Chinese teacher at the Confucius Institute at Coventry University. I'm Liang Feng. Actually, before the establishment of our Confucius Institute at Coventry University, some local schools at Coventry had already had Chinese language programs. We are just extra resources for them. For us, we are willing to provide them with Chinese teaching and assistance in developing Chinese cultural activities. Our Confucius Institute has already cooperated with 4 local schools before the epidemic. Our teachers went to these 4 schools once a week to host Chinese clubs there. We gave children the experience of Chinese language and the Chinese culture. We also invited local elementary and middle school students to come to our campus of Coventry University to participate in our Chinese cultural experience days. They can work with our Chinese teachers to better understand Chinese festivals, Chinese culture, and the Chinese language in an immersive environment. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Thank you. So I know that you have been involved in many of these ones personally. So what do you as a teacher, what is the different feeling about working with children than working with your normal students who are all adults?
For the normal students, we focus on the language teaching more, but for the kids, we did more culture thing, just open their eyes to the Western and to the Eastern world, especially China, and open a window for the future global citizens. Yeah.
Fantastic. That is something that I know that Coventry University is very passionate about, preparing students for a future of transnationalism. Now, when we say we do cultural events, what sort of things do we do with the students or with the kids, and what do you think that they generally enjoy most?
For young kids, they like do activities. They enjoy involve in activities. For example, do some Chinese calligraphies, Chinese Kung Fu, like Tai Chi, and do some paper cutting and make dumplings and just do some Chinese activities. They enjoy the activities. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So to move on, we do have another short video example of some of us, the children involved, and doing some martial arts that we will share right now.
接下来是小朋友们为我们带来的武术表演，请欣赏。
Wonderful. I think it's great to have the children come in and ensure that they are active, trying out new things and giving them opportunities to understand and really share cultures that they otherwise may not be able to. I think it is a very valuable service we provide to the local community and something that we can be very proud of. And we are always looking to expand and find new schools and new groups to share with. With our next area, unfortunately, as we've mentioned, over the past year, now over a year, we have not been able to go into schools due to the global pandemic. We are hoping to get back in the future. However, although we have all been stuck at home, we have tried to continue to engage with people throughout our local area, and we've been trying to do that online. And this is something that Yiming Ren has been leading on. So Yiming, would you like to share a little bit about what we have been doing here?
So first of all, hi guys. My name is Ren Yiming. I hope you've already known that Ren is my surname and Yiming is my name. So if you don't know this, don't worry. Here's a lesson 1 for Chinese learners. That is, the surname always comes in front of the name. Or you can just call me Mina if that is easier. First of all, I'm in charge of a beginner Chinese course and the business Mandarin course. So if you want to start your Chinese learning, and lucky for you, you are starting it with me. So other than the language teaching, I'm also in charge of the cultural activities. So we've done a lot before the pandemic. Regular activities, including important festival events to the public, and we got experience days to the local schools and serious talks to the university, and we also got the China summer camp to the CI students. As you already know, our work has been transferred online since last March. So now we are focusing on the online activities, such as Chinese Corner at noon on every Friday with a wide range of the topics. So all can be found on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook account. So welcome to follow us to get more information. Also, we post the word of the day, the movie, all the songs, all the news of the week, all the practical expressions and the best recommendations. So it's mainly that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Yiming. Obviously, the first question I have then, where you mentioned the Twitter, our Instagram, and our Facebook with these excellent words of the day that you have been doing. Where can people find us and follow us? What's our tag?
Oh, wow, that is a key information. So we got like a COV, short for the Coventry, and we got Uni, short for university. So, and then we got the Confucius. I'm going to put it on the chat so you can find it. There's 3 channels.
Great. So that's an @Confucius Cov Uni, I believe is it for our Twitter, Facebook, and
Instagram. Yes.
That was Confucius Covuni, not Covuni Confucius, I believe.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh, thank you, George. You should do this. Avoid the embarrassment.
It's the pub there. But I think, as I say, throughout this pandemic, it's been fantastic to see. Try to continue to engage people. Obviously, it's very difficult to engage people online when everything about their lives are already online, and people are probably no doubt sick of Zoom meetings already, and spending so much time to try to encourage and engage people online as in their spare time and their extra time, and adding this extra cultural awareness and support to students is I think very, very difficult, but I think it's very, very useful. And I've been very happy, and I've enjoyed being involved in the China corners and the talks that we've been able to do. I've also tried to do a little bit of the Chinese word of the day myself back in the day, and it is quite difficult to keep that going. So thank you very much, Yiming. I think the next thing that I have is I'm going to. While we look at the culture and some of the performances, I think we're going to share a short video of some of the performances that our students have done. Now, with the learning that has been done, with the online and the in-person learning that is done, we have had many students giving performances, whether that's through competition, whether that's through celebrating New Year events, however those have been. We have had wonderful students who have learned many skills, and our teachers have also been very engaged in preparing for competitions. So I'd like to share some of these performances with everyone right now.
中华民族有着高尚的道德准则和完整的礼仪，被称为礼仪之邦。接下来，请欣赏由战旗师为大家带来的舞蹈《礼仪之邦》。中华民族的舞蹈文化源远流长，一个眼神，一个动作都能呈现出中华民族舞蹈的美。下面请欣赏由孔子学院的学子为我们带来的舞蹈表演。中华民族的文化瑰宝数不胜数，其中太极文化当属根本。下面请欣赏由考文垂孔子学院为大家带来的太极表演。
There we go. So we are very proud. It's been very good to try to engage our students and show some of these active things that we are very much looking forward to being able to do once again when we are all allowed to get back together, which hopefully should be soon. So we're going to come to the second part of the CICU Chinese Corner Trivia. Now this, some very simple questions which are based around some of the topics that we have covered in around, one of which Yiming has already mentioned as she discussed the Chinese surname and naming conventions, with the surname being said first before the surname. Our head of the teaching and learning, Wen Chuan, ran a session a long while ago about this one, which is worth going back to check. And I will be providing the link for where to look at these later on. However, the first question is, how many great novels are there in Chinese history? And great novels in this case is a specific group of great novels that is widely understood. And is it possible to name them? Now, I know all of our Chinese friends will have no problems with this one. So if there's anyone else who would like to try to have a guess, how many of these great novels are there, and is it possible to name any of these? These are the widely known by everyone in China as the most influential novels that have continue to influence pop culture today, that children and all of us. So, well, yes, 4 great novels. There are 4 great novels. Absolutely, that is entirely correct. So the names of them, who would like to tell me the names of them? Liangfang, which is your favorite?
My favorite one is the Journey to the West.
How about you, Yiming? Which one do you like best?
Same, the Journey to the West. It's kind of like Chinese Star Wars. It's
oh,
huge.
Wow, yeah, that's an interesting one. So Wenjuan, how about you? Which was your favorite?
I would say probably the same.
That is the greatest of the 4. So Yofa, how about you? Which one is your favorite? I think you are muted there, Nick.
红楼梦.
红楼梦.
Yeah.
Great. Wow. And that's in Ali's favorite is Journey to the West as well. So yeah, I think I'm actually with Nick. I think I actually prefer Hong Lo Meng over Journey to the West, although both are excellent novels. So Hong Lo Meng would be the Dream of Red Chambers or Dream of Red Mansions. I think mostly because I really like Wang Shifeng. I think she's my favorite of all of them. So that is right. Now the next one is perhaps a little and also quite simple. So for those people who are interested in the Chinese language, we have run a session about the linguistics behind some of the Chinese and from a linguistics perspective. But another very basic question, how many tones are there in the Chinese language? When we speak English, of course, we don't really have official tones. we have many more word sounds or vowel sounds that there are in Chinese, which has a more limited number of actual sounds or syllables. However, these are given more variety through the tones, whether those tones are rising or falling or staying the same or doing both or going up and down. These tones are quite vital. They can change the meaning of various words. So if we know any tones in a Chinese language, you mean we're saying that's lesson 1 for beginners, first lesson, along with the name. So how many are there? How many tones? Yiming, why don't you tell us? 4. There are 4 tones. So Yiming, could you explain that to us very, very briefly?
Yeah, we have 4 tones. We got, take the example of the vowel ah. So we got the and one more neutral tone.
Okay, so there are.
Very confusing, but you will just like you will get it when you start with me.
So that's a good answer. Kind of want to learn more about that. Join in. So the last one is about a little bit about Chinese food. So there is something we had one of the favorite Chinese corners that we had with our friends up at Bib Noodle in Fargo Village, and their speciality is bang bang noodles. Now, the question is, what is special? What is unique about bang bang noodles? This is a very tasty one. I've actually, since they have reopened, I have been back twice to their container in Fargo Village. They are absolutely lovely people, and they have recently started making jianbing as well. So if you guys, anyone wants to try jianbing or their new crispy dumplings, I would highly recommend them. Lovely people, very, 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 very good food. So the interesting thing about bang bang noodles, to keep things moving, bang bang noodles, I think the idea is that the bang bang is almost onomatopoeic. That means it is basically sounds, making the sound. These are all handmade noodles, which are stretched and banged against the tabletop as they're being stretched out. So when you watch the chefs creating these noodles, they will stretch and bang bang on the bang bang. So we can always say bang bang noodles. That bang bang is almost like the bang bang of the way they create it, and you can see them do that when you go up to Bib Noodle, or you can go and rewatch the Chinese corner that we did with them on our website, the link of which I will put into the chat. So, as I say, I have been speaking a lot, but so my name is George, and I work with the Confucius Institute. We work as a bridge almost towards the Coventry University, and one of the main things that I'm very interested in is how we work with the community. And that means the wider community. We've mentioned the schools, we've mentioned the classrooms, we've mentioned the online community, but we service the West Midlands as a whole. So that also would include working with the city councils, works with Chinese business groups, and we also try to set up and support SMEs and work with business groups. One of the ways we do that is we have set up a Belt and Road Observatory, which is a way in which we can share information about the Belt and Road Initiative. And that is a place that we can see on the Coventry University website, if you looked there, or I will also be sharing a link to that later on. Working with businesses in the local area is something that we find very, very important, because it's if we look in the current climate, China will remain and will continue to be one of our key economic partners looking at the growth of the UK, and especially as we look to recover from the pandemic. So one of the great things about China is there are a lot of people within China around Jiangxi who are looking to invest in the UK, and some of the difficulties faced by business people looking to work with China is, of course, the language, which is something we can certainly help with, but also understanding the cultural differences and the gaps and the expectations between the agreements, the negotiations, the general attitudes towards business between the UK and China, and understanding how differently groups operate can really ensure that there is smooth and productive working partnerships between the people from these different cultures. This is something that we try to support, try to encourage, and try to provide through local businesses. We also look to help the people around the university to understand these cultural differences, as there is a very large Chinese student community within across Coventry University group, and there are many, many cultural differences that we see between the teaching expectations of the staff across the university, whether they are academic staff, whether they are support staff, whether they are looking to do careers advice or any of these different areas, and the learning expectations of the majority of the Chinese students. Trying to bridge these gaps is again something that the Confucius Institute, is uniquely placed to support and help with, and that is something we have done before, looking to support encourage and improve the student support, whether that is academic, whether that is through information desks, whether that's through the online outreach to the students, but also looking at helping careers services understand the Chinese job market and their expectations, but also looking at helping academics generally understand why Chinese students act in a different way than they tend to expect from Western students. I would finish off by saying, if anyone has any questions or if there are any interesting things that we have covered today, I would love you to get in touch. Our website is, our email is confuciusinstitute@coventry.ac.uk, and I will be making sure that when this video goes out, this will be in the comments, and that will be in the description, along with our tags and our links to our classes. So I'd like to finish by saying thank you very much to everyone who has joined us, and a massive thank you to all of our staff, everyone who has worked with us in now and in the past. And we will spend the last couple of moments just going through a few of the pictures, and to say thank you all very much, and we will discuss. Thank you, Ali, for your comments. Thank you for joining us. And well, let's go through just a little bit of what we have, as we've said. So as we say, we have our Belton Road Observatory, barrow.coventry, but we're going to share some of the pictures from all of our staff. Nick, you're looking a little bit happier. Perspective from China. We have various friends who have come through and provided us with their expertise. As we can see here, when we bring schools through to share and to learn, the school groups have had lots of good fun. We're bringing in with more quizzes and calligraphy. We have many students enjoying themselves, sharing and learning the very different skills with their word. Those ones are. We have set up and participated in many things that we can see here. So as we go through, these are the things that we are looking forward to running again in the future. Paper cutting with people from all around our community, all around the West Midlands, getting back together to celebrate Chinese culture, Chinese language, and generally enjoying ourselves in the future. So thank you all very much, and we hope to see you all in our cultural events in the near future when we are able to again. Please take some time to go back and check out our Chinese Corner videos that we can see here. There are about nearly 30 of those now, if you have some time. But we'll finish by saying a great big thank you to everyone for joining us, and thank you very much to all of our staff and everyone who has joined us today. So thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Till next
Bye-bye.
year.
Thank you.